why is there a conspiracy towards things that are actually happening? That's happening, right? And human trafficking and sex trafficking is happening. And just last night, as we start talking about Covenant Resource Group, right, you were part of some arrests where you're taking down people. Yet somehow
it doesn't happen.
Why is this a conspiracy? Like, this is actually happening.
Yeah,
and there are groups of people like Tim Ballard and Jared Hudson that are on the front lines of this. How does that make you feel?
Well, I mean, again, it's the media will say what they want to say that pushes a narrative. I'm looking at here, but I can't find it. Anyway, Tim, I was talking to Tim last week, so I know Tim. I worked with him with OUR for a while, and while we stood up Covenant Rescue Group, it was to focus on stateside operations is really what it turned into, because, for him, with Nazarene Fund and Operation Underground Railroad, they primarily focused on overseas operations. I worked in Haiti with him a good bit, and it looks different overseas than it does here. But the problem is still the same. It's people being victimized and sold for, that are at risk. So what I tell guys in Alabama, and guys hate to hear this, I got buddies that are builders where they get pissed when I hear this. I say, you are one of the largest human trafficking organizations on the face of the planet, because all of them will hire an illegal immigrant because they can hire them less than they would hire an American citizen for, and they put them to work out there. Right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hispanics come in here, they work cheaper. They work great, right? But they work cheaper than what it would take to hire a normal, like citizen of America. It doesn't matter where they're from. Doesn't matter if they're black, white, Hispanic. And the politicians and the media will push the demographic piece. It's not the demographic that matters. It's that this person, they don't have anything to stand on. They can't complain if you don't pay them enough. You know why? Because they're here illegally. Who are they going to complain to? And you, like a dadgum roach, you like a zombie on a dead body, feed on their lack of ability to stand for themselves. So first off, contractors all across the state of Alabama, and they get pissed. You'll have guys on here pissed off that I'm saying it. But if you hire illegal immigrants, you are preying upon the weak, because you can pay them less, you can treat them like crap to go out and build and do more for you. That's the first form of trafficking. The largest form in the world is labor trafficking. That bleeds across the border. Sex trafficking also comes across the border. But here's the other problem. We're getting these illegal immigrants across, the borders open, all that. What we've seen on what we do is we have more illegal immigrants showing up to have sex with 14-year-old kids on our child exploitation stings that primarily deal with sex. They will show up to who they believe is a 14-year-old or a 13-year-old or a 15-year-old, whatever it is, whatever state statute you're trying to meet. They'll show up to have sex. We are seeing more illegal immigrants show up. A guy got deported a couple weeks ago back to Guatemala, where he came from, that are burning across the border, and they've been across the border 2 or 3 or 4 times, and they're paying money to mules every time. And so not talking too much about that, but we see a lot of illegal immigrants coming across and targeting kids, American citizens. And then the last thing, we arrested a guy that got deported this couple weeks ago. He got deported, he was put on an ICE hold and got deported. And a lady anonymously reached out to our organization, right? We always partner with a local agency and then with a federal agency to make sure that we, go through the process correctly. We're more like combat advisors would be a military term for what we do. And so they reached out to our organization, though, and said, hey, we saw this arrest. I'm not going to give you my name or talk to you. It was just like an unknown number. It was a text, I think. And she said, but she sent a picture of the guy. She said, y'all arrested this guy. She said, he's a bad man. Thank you. Well, she was an illegal immigrant herself, so she didn't have any – she was being preyed upon. According to her in her text message, she said, he kept me locked in a closet in a trailer for a week, made me take pictures, made me perform sex acts with him, made me perform sex acts with other people, so we assumed that buddies were paying him to go in and do things with him, and she was tied up and locked in a closet for a week. This is in the Birmingham metro area of Alabama, right? And no law enforcement knows about those. You know why they don't? Because who's she going to call? Yeah, she's an illegal immigrant. So if she calls, then she has nobody to turn to. So that would be the sex trafficking side that we're seeing tick up more and more and more. So these child exploitation stings help catch these guys that are doing that. And this dude, he's I won't talk specifically about it, but he was He was here working. I think he was working for a contractor doing, laying brick, if I remember right. But whatever it was, he's here. He's part of society. He's an illegal immigrant, yeah, but he's part of this open border problem, number one. But it's more than open border problem, because we talked about Trump earlier. Every Trump supporting Republican, yeah, shut the border down. Yeah, well, you all want to shut the border down, but you're going to pay a guy less that came across the border because you're preying on him or his family, because they have no recourse. They have no recourse, and you're using that to grow your business. So is that right or wrong? I don't know. Maybe we'll let God be the judge on that. I believe it's wrong, but no, it's not a conspiracy, and that's actually what's really happening.